zero time to waste this morning. Let's fucking go, boys. Good morning, good morning. It's been an interesting morning so far. It has fought me the whole way, but we made it here about an hour and 15 minutes later than scheduled. Sometimes, man, sometimes you just don't go like you plan. Literally every roadblock this morning, we finally found our way through it. Started out with no audio, had to diagnose and solve that issue. Then we moved to the monitor, didn't want to work, had a faulty plug, had to go find an alternate power cable, plugged it in, got it going. Then we accidentally updated OBS, which if you stream, never update OBS. They've never rolled out an OBS update that actually works. So I had to roll that back. And we finally arrived. So what's good, gang? How we doing this morning? We good? Hope y'all doing good, man. So we don't have very long to go this morning, so let's make the most of it. I'll try to come back tonight if possible. If possible. Let's get after it. Woo-wee! It'll be a good day. Yo, good morning, Frag. How are you? Good morning, good morning. Norse, good morning. Salty, good morning. Diablo, good morning. Good morning to all of you. We got about 50 with us so far. We're building up right now. Let's fucking go! Wake up. Let's get warmed up. Ooh, we got some serious delay. You guys hear the delay? Oh my god, it's always something, boys. It is always something. It is always something. Yo, what's good, Pukes? So let me ask you, is the delay just on my side or is it on your side too? Let's go headphones, go back to Elgato. You guys are getting that delay on the graphics card? Pukes, are you guys picking up on this delay? Testing. Ah! Okay, so my voice is perfectly fine. We've got a delay with the desktop audio input. Okay, I can fix that. I'm trained for this. Okay. We've been here before. I know exactly how to fix this. Let's go. Sync offset. We want to go. Let's go minus 90 and see what that does. may have to restart my gaming PC. We're just going to keep running at negative till it catches up. The old dubbed film, yeah. It may just come down to restart my gaming PC. Yeah. All right. You guys keep warming up. We're going to try something. See, I think what's happening, gang, is I think I'm having problems with my graphics card. It could be the cable. It could be the cable on my graphics card, too. That's highly likely. Because you notice how I get some flickering. Come on, quick. Give me the desktop. I'm thinking it's the cable on my graphics card's gone bad. I think that has to be it. Worst case scenario, it would be the actual card itself, but your boy has a backup card he can put in, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. So we're going to restart real quick and see if that helps. So bear with me for a minute. I may have to get a new 8K cable tonight. You know, sometimes the universe just doesn't want you to do something, and that is stream today for some reason. For some reason, I was not supposed to stream today, and I have fought through it and fought through it. Alberta, good morning. Let's see. Let's see if you guys can hear this audio here. Well, after these million things. See, right now it won't even let me pick Elgato. That may be because I've got that. There we go.
Are you going to push Zelensky for peace, President Trump?
I feel very happy to be up here with you, nevertheless. And that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing.
All right, we're testing right now.
The deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape.
Okay.
We're both in good shape. We both stood.
Let's go to desktop. Let's go to advanced properties.
These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations: a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter.
Go minus 99.
And by the way, it's working now. It just went on. Thank you. I think I should just do it the other way. It's easier. You have to end it now. Sid, I can tell you. I'm really good at this.
This video's terrible.
Countries are going to hell.
Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Complete mental insanity.
Everybody, when they're talking about Randy, they're never going to speak in their own voice. They're going to do a Randy voice. They're going to do macho.
Oppie, oppie, oppie.
That's closer.
The goal was to make my dad laugh all the time.
Dad was a huge guy, so if you were big, you were golden.
My real name is Martin, but they call me Ox, cause...
Right, because you're so big.
Right. Like an ox.
Chris and Dad had a relationship that was very close, an intense relationship. Dad had
Right now, I'm working on the sink.
Like anytime you see him doing a character, it's a version of my dad.
Just need someone talking, man.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Turn the music off!
I know you exercise a lot. You used to be giant.
I know. I know.
It's not going.
Giant,
I was
man.
40 pounds bigger than I am.
Oh my God.
Literally.
What made you get so jacked?
I got the flu, and then I didn't know. No, what? You got me jacked?
Yeah.
I just. Well, I'll tell you what I did. What it was when I got that permanent gig, I had nothing to do all day in Vegas. Literally.
So you just started getting pumped.
So I started just going to the gym every day. Like I'd go 3 hours a day.
This is
literally.
terrible.
3 hours of lifting?
Yeah. Well, this is again 15 years ago.
Right.
And I was warehouse to do something. It was a picture of something.
I don't know.
I was like, what the fuck? Like I was like 190. I'm like 140.
Wow.
Yeah, what's up, Locke?
This is my original fighting weight right now. I'm at 140 is my
That's what you
my
feel
fight.
lean and
Yeah,
mean?
this is where I grew up, born and raised, 135, 140 my whole life, and then I went to like 185. People are like,
I'm going to minus
Did you have a lot
999
of
see what it
joint
does.
pain all the time?
Yeah, everything. I was always injured. I was always hurt.
Yeah.
Didn't look good on stage. It was weird. It's like, people are like, what the fuck happened to Karen Tom? They've always said that.
But that is a thing, though. When you get really jacked on stage, it becomes
On
a
the other
distraction.
screen, which you guys can't see.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons, of all people, came and says, does being so muscular take away from the
That's the worst Gene
stage?
Simmons
Is it?
impression ever. All of a sudden, Gene Simmons became like an Englishman from the 80s.
Excuse me, Carrot Top is Gene.
Pardon me.
So I got Gene really good one time. So this is great. So he comes back, comes to the show, comes backstage, and he says to me,
It's just not working.
what do you do to make money besides this?
All right.
I said, what the fuck you talking? Nothing. He said, you don't have anything that gives you money. I said, I don't know. I do comedy 6 nights a week, but you don't have another investment of some sort, yes?
I need a new cable. I think it has to be the cable, which I can fix that pretty quick. I think I've got a cable here somewhere. Hang tight. I'm telling you, boys. For whatever reason, the universe has decided I'm not supposed to be streaming today. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Oh fuck, it's a I'm trying to remember. It's not an HDMI cable. I don't think it's an HDMI cable. It's not. It's a DPI cable. Son of a bitch, boys. I don't know. Yeah, we're here. Yeah. Frustrating, man. It's frustrating. Congrats, Salty. Congrats, man. I can't fix this problem, and I can't. Not gonna play / stream with the audio issue. So there's no other way to get the sound across. Yeah. Let's see here.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to talk about the Season 6 update, the last and final update that we have in Black Ops 6. If you do find the video informative or helpful at any point, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So the first thing you need to know is we know that the update is going to be on October 9th. So far, the countdown for the Battle Pass, the timers for the events, they all end on October 9th. Now, the reason why I'm covering it today is because this upcoming week...
You guys can't even see most of this. Let me zoom this down. Make it to where you guys can actually see it. Oh.
Is going to be super hectic for the scheduling of Call of Duty. Starting tomorrow, we have the Black Ops 7 multiplayer reveal, and chances are they're probably also going to drop a blog. Then 2 days after that, on Wednesday, they're going to be dropping the Zombies reveal trailer, and that will also have a very massive blog post to accompany. So there's a chance that maybe later on this week, this upcoming Thursday or Friday, we could see the Haunting trailers, the teasers, the roadmap, because the next upcoming week, which is usually a week before they actually reveal everything, lands on October 2nd, and that's the day that the Black Ops 7 beta starts. And it just wouldn't make sense because everyone's going to be worried about the Black Ops 7 beta and all of the new content instead of being worried about the Haunting update. So it just wouldn't make sense for them to drop it around that time, and they would have to drop it before the beta and maybe even before Call of Duty next as well. So that's the current scheduling that we have right now. Now, the outro cinematic was actually posted by Trav right now.
So we roll straight from... So we got early access beta for pre-orders, then we go into open beta. That's coming up. That's coming up. All right. You know what that means. We can accomplish this, I guess. God, I hate doing this. I really do. Where is it? You'd think it'd be plastered all over here. Oh. Here we go. Let's take a look at Slick Force 1 for a minute. We ain't been on Slick Force 1 in a minute, boys. I can't let you see my banking information, of course. There it is. There it is. I've officially purchased the Vault Edition. Nauseating. I doubt it even shows up yet. I don't know when it'll come out. Let's see. Yeah. We have officially purchased The $99 Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Ugh. Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right at all.
The outro cinematic was actually posted by Treyarch
Merc,
just
what
the
up?
other day. They have confirmed that the storyline has officially ended with the Season 5 update, and it actually fast
Diablo drunk this morning?
2035 to where
Duke,
they have
what
a
up, Duke?
monument for Savati in Avalon, and that's what it's looking like in Showcase. Or
Yeah, we're
somewhere in
just
Japan,
kicking it right
actually, not
now.
Avalon, because you also see some Japanese text. And then they go on to continue and say,
For those of you that are just joining us, we're just kicking it right now because I've got a cable that's gone bad. So there's a massive delay coming off my graphics card into my PC. And we can't play with it. We could check one thing. We can check one thing. We've got that selected. Show me more volume settings. $14.40. Could be Elgato sound capture.
Story continues in Black Ops 7, so meaning that the Black Ops 6 theme of Season 6 is not going to have anything to do with the story. Some people were saying that maybe it could
No, still got a massive delay.
be a BO7 theme that we're going to get in this update alongside the Haunting. We already know Haunting is officially confirmed, and that's probably going to be the major theme, but it
Maybe.
can also be with a little BO7
We can try
theme.
this. Let me restart my Go XLR where it's running through. It's possible. But that's it. Okay, you should be able to hear me now. My voice is working perfectly fine, so that it's just the desktop audio that's lagging.
Teasers and things like that to shift
Still lagging.
us and transition us into the next Call of Duty title. But this is the outro cinematic that they posted. Now, before we jump into everything else, quick word from our sponsor, Mitch Cactus. It's a store that can get you the most exclusive operators, help you unlock the Black Ops 6 Mastery camos, such as Dark Matter, Abyss, and Nebula. And if you want to hit Master Prestige even faster, they can also help you out with that. They don't use unlock tools or mods, so you know it's 100% legitimate, and they have over 10,000 verified reviews on Trustpilot. You can use code Chidzo for a 5% discount. The link will be down in the description. So we know that in the Season 6 update, there's a total of 5 brand new operators that are going to be coming in. They have these code names, so Gummy, Peachring, Milk, Caramel, and Dark. And we know because the whole theme of the Season 6 update is going to be Haunting related, chances are these are all the crossover operators. Last year in MW3, we got 5 crossovers, and in MW2, we
Throw
also
bleach
got 5
on it.
crossovers.
Yeah,
and this is
got
how they
it.
sort of split them up. Some of them were available as store bundles. Some came in as crossovers with current movies and promotions going on at the time. And then one of them came in as a part of the Battle Pass. So you can expect that with the 5 here, one of them is going to be a part of the Battle Pass, which we don't know who that is. They're probably going to be the tier 1, and then they may have another variant for like tier 100. Some people were saying like they want Pennywise added into the game. That's also one of the potential ones that it could be, because we have a code named Peachring. Usually the
Ooh, I just thought of something. Ooh. I will have to open OBS on this, but I have a secondary way of porting sound. Ooh. Haven't used it in a long time. Let's check something. I have the old way of moving sound over. Ah! Would appear I haven't done an OBS in a while on this one. You guys can watch me. You guys can watch OB. Okay. We need to download 32.1. 31.1.2. That's what we need. Pictures. Try desktop. Oh, shut up. There's nothing running. Don't pay any attention to my Cronus Zen and my programs running in the background here. Just ignore all that. Ignore everything you see. OBS files being used by the following application. Google Chrome. Where's Google Chrome open it? Ah, fuck me. It is open. Okay. Let's do it again. We'll do it live. So I'm trying to remember the name of this program. It's called the application audio capture, if I'm not mistaken. And then I can set. Let's add that. There it is. Yes, why? Why are we crashing out? Doesn't make any fucking sense, man. We're gonna have to completely remove OBS. You motherfucker. Let's run in safe mode. Dude. It doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you, we're not meant to stream today. It's that simple. Sometimes the universe tells you it's not happening. That's us today. Shut up. Sometimes, Slick, you just gotta say F the universe. That's what I've been doing, man. All morning long since I got up at 2:30 or 2 o'clock. I've been fighting this. Just fighting and fighting and fighting. And literally every step of the way, there's a problem like this. Every step of the fucking way. I don't understand it. Let's go to startup apps. Why don't we just let's handle part of our problem here. It's this simple to turn off my startup apps every single time. Wow. Wow. How embarrassing for me. All this stuff that I fight every time I restart my computer. And all I had to do is come over here and turn it all off. That's wild. That is wild, folks. That'll make it easier to restart for sure. It must have something to do with my files. What up, Preston? I mean, I just went ahead and moved the crash thing aside, and now I'm just in OBS, so no big deal. That definitely crashed it. That's so creepy that it knew what I needed. Yo, that's creepy. And this, I purchased this in 24. This is the exact one right here. That's creepy, bro. That's fucking creepy. Is that not creepy as shit? YOLO, what up, my man? I'm telling you, they do too, Alberto. That's proof of it. That is fucking proof of it. I think this is... I definitely have this one too. We're going to get a couple different cables here just to cover our bases. You know what I could do? By the time I get done with it, it'll be too late. But I could take, and you especially don't want to go taking graphics cards and stuff out of your computer while it's electrified, so I'm going to have to shut the computers down to do it. I have a backup Elgato 4K Pro. You boy has two of everything. For fuck's sakes, I got a 4090 sitting on the shelf next to me here. So tonight, what I'll do when I get home is I'll put the backup graphics card in the machine. And then I'll plug the new cable in. And we should be good to go. This looks like a good cable. Honestly, this looks like the cable I have. I want one that I know works. This one's 41 reviews. Limited time deal. 4K at 30 hertz. That one's pretty low. 8K at 60 hertz. Yeah, let's do this top one for 18 bucks. Well, yeah, we want the coupon price. Of course we do. Of course we do. So let's add that to cart. So let's go. DPI cable. $4K, 140 hertz, 2K. There we go. That's a good one. Maybe it's a good one. I forget where you select like same day delivery. I don't want it delivered tomorrow. I want it delivered today. Get it today. There we go. All right, we're going to get this one. And look at that. We got a coupon too. Add to cart. We're going to go back and look because we want another get today. That's 4K at 30. 4K at 30. Let's go price high to low. Damn. $60 for an HDMI, for a DPI to HDMI cable. Fuck. Shit. Everything's going to be 4K to 30. Well, there we go. Get today. Oh, that's fuck. That's just a pass through. There we go. 4K at 60 hertz. That's what we need. 4K at 120 hertz. I don't know how fast any of these really are. You only know what they're advertising. 4K at 244 hertz is pretty good. There we go. You watch, this one will say frequently returned. Okay, good. It doesn't. 6.6 feet's fine. Let's add that coupon. Wait, that's not a conversion cable. That's DPI. DisplayPort to HDMI is clearly what I asked for, gents. Give me what I ask for. This looks a lot like the one that I have. Oh, they pulled a rope-a-dope. Nice move. This looks like a decent cable. Frequently returned item. Fuck! You got 6K, not 4K. 6K. Blue screening? Ooh, that's not good, Alberta. Post it, Merc. Post it. We'll take a look at it. I think 144 hertz at 4K is probably the... Oh. Yeah, see, they're bullshitting. See, we're specifically looking for a conversion cable, right? 4K to 120 hertz is about the max I'm seeing here. .4K at 60 hertz, 1440p, 2K at 120 hertz. I mean, I can get you a 240, which is what I'm looking for. I love it when they just try and slip just an HDMI cable. Not what I asked for. We're just gonna have to get one of these. Well, actually, no. This one works. Yeah, this one works. What the fuck? Get it today. Should not be in this list if it's not get it today, right? That's how you guys interpret that. Oh, I can get the 3. Watch, it'll be I can get the 3 foot today. And if I go to 6 foot, it's get it tomorrow. Sons of bitches. It's like it's gonna be 3. Hold on a second. Looks like 3.3 feet's gonna have to do. Add to cart. No, I've never seen that TM. Sorry, I had to get a point of reference real quick on what 3.3 feet look like. We're having some graphics card or some issues with transfer right now from machine to machine. So I can get all these today, it looks like. One of them I don't need. We're going to get rid of this display port. These two that I need. Okay. All right, we're headed back to Slick Force 1 real quick. Okay. Well, I got the cables ordered, so we should have those tonight at about 5 p.m. And when I get home from work tonight, what I'll do is I'll hook up the new cable, see if that's made a difference. If it doesn't, it means I've got a Elgato 4K Pro graphics card issue, which is okay because I've got a backup. And so I'll install the new one, which don't take but 5 minutes. And we should be ready to go fully tomorrow morning without any delay in the system. I say we should be. I say we should be. I should be able to solve this tonight, no problem. Online shopping's bad, okay. I hear you, man. I hear you. Anyway, we should continue what we were doing here. Let's go to history. So we're learning about season 6 at the moment.
Featuring usually the code names is the first letter for the crossover that we're going to get. So featuring could potentially be Pennywise. And in terms of the battle pass, we can have like the more modern Pennywise version, say in tier 1, and then the classic version in tier 100. That's just an idea. And then there's also other potential operators that could come in based on movies and shows that are currently going on. For example, we have Black Phone 2 that's going to be releasing around the time of this update and during the month of October. And that could also potentially feature that operator. And it could be for the code name Dark, considering it's called Black Phone. And then there's other potential possibilities where there's a new Frankenstein movie that's going to be releasing. They said there's a limited release on October 17th and the full release is sometime in November. And similar to how it was with like the Smile crossover, because the movie was releasing at that time during MW3's Haunting event, it could be the same thing this time around. And then you can't forget the Ghosts of Hope tease that Ghostface could potentially be coming back. And then we also have Gummy, so that could be his code name. And I know many of you guys have read the comments, like the majority of top comments where you wanted to see Ghostface come back into the game. I know that he was previously available in the past before, but I mean, we've seen that happen before. For example, Snoop Dogg has come in like 3 different times and there was no exception. He was available in the Battle Pass, he was available as a store bundle, and he came in on multiple different occasions, and they could probably do the same thing here with Ghostface. For like the first time ever, the leaks haven't revealed exactly what the crossovers are going to be. So it's going to be a very big surprise when they actually drop the blog and then drop teaser trailers. But I'll leave your guesses down below. There's going to be a total of 5. So you have a high chance of guessing it right. Now, what I'm hoping to see from the actual blog post itself is an update to carry forward. So I'm hoping that they do an exception for the season 6 Haunting update and actually allow carry forward to come in. So being able to use and take all the skins that you purchased and maybe got in season 6 exclusively and have those available, so that way you don't have to deal with like Ninja Turtles or anything like that, but at least there's like Ghostface or Pennywise or any of those crossovers that may come in, and I don't think people would be too upset with that. But let me know your thoughts about that down below. Would you like to see carry forward?
The Ninja Turtles weren't so bad. I don't know what you guys think, but I didn't think the Ninja Turtles were so bad. It was when they started making, you know, the day they released the fucking the pony that farted rainbows. The day they released the pony that farted rainbows, that was the day that I was done with it. You know what I could tolerate? I think all of us could tolerate it. We could all tolerate all the Fortnite bullshit that they put into the game. If the game was good. If the game was good, we would put up with a lot of the garbage. The fact is, it's not good. It's not good.
Get an exception for season 6, or should they keep it the way that it is to where nothing carries forward? Other than the operators, there's also going to be the weapons that are going to be coming in with this update. Now, last time around, we ended up getting new code names added to the files during, like, say, the Season 4 Reloaded update. In Season 5 and Season 5 Reloaded, they didn't add any new code names, so that means whatever remaining weapons are in the files are going to be the ones that are most likely going to release, and here's the list of them. So, the first one, we have T10AR P54 Aspen, potentially the APS underwater rifle. Then we have the Milan, they said it could potentially be the Uzi carbine. Then we have MPUG 40, that's the MP40. We know that one out of like the code names. It's very obvious that it's going to be the MP40. Now the problem is we don't know if it's going to release in Season 6 for the reason that it's just such a classic weapon, and because of that fact, maybe they're going to say, you know what, we're not going to release it in BO6, we're going to save it and drop it sometime in BO7, because remember, there's no carry forward. You're not going to be able to use this weapon in...
We have the C9. Why would you release the MP40? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they release that in Season 6?
BO7 multiplayer anymore, and because of that they may want to hold off on that and save it and release it maybe like Season 1 or Season 2 of Black Ops 7, because if it
Would that
does
make any
release
sense to
during
you
the
guys at
launch,
all?
you're only going to be able to use it for like a month until we move into BO7, or if you want to just use it in Warzone. So that's the thing about that. Then we have the LMG, which already released. There's something called the Wand, which I'll get back to in just a second. We also have Brass Knuckles. Those didn't release. We saw Adler wearing them during the Season 4 update, but they just never dropped. Season 5 came around. It didn't drop. That's also a potential melee weapon that we can get. The boxing gloves, they already released. And then we also have the chainsaw. And that one, it just makes sense to come in as a melee weapon during the haunting.
That will come in Season 6.
Sure, this is going to be one of the weapons that we're going to get within this update. We've never gotten an actual chainsaw standalone weapon. We've seen it as an attachment for like an underbarrel. We've seen it as a weapon blueprint for a different melee weapon, for example, like the Doom chainsaw. So this time around, getting an actual chainsaw melee weapon would be pretty good for the haunting update. So that's what to expect in terms of the weapons. Now going back to the wand,
What's he talking about? Did we not get that as a weapon in Warzone 2? I could have swore we had a standalone chainsaw as a weapon in Warzone 2. Or was it a gun attachment? I don't remember.
Actually be like a weapon.
I was going to say, I thought we did, Salt.
This is a zombies exclusive field.
Fuck you talking about, man?
It says right here, it has 5 different barrels. It has ball, burst, AoE, ball, and
with the Doom bundle. That's right.
Pretty much the different field upgrades. So ball is energy mine, burst is frost blast, AoE is ring of fire, bomb is shatter blast, and beam is ether flare. So that's going to be one of the new things that zombies will get in the Season 6 update. But going on to the next thing that we have for the multiplayer side of things,
the shotgun.
We can expect that there's going to be some map reskins of existing maps. So for example, Nuketown is going to have like a Halloween theme. More than likely, that's going to be the map that they're going to choose. There's also going to be a bunch of other potential ones. For example, here's some concepts of like, say, Derelict and then Payback and those types of maps getting a spooky makeover, whether maybe they make them night and then they also add some like Halloween decorations all around, add some ghosts, some spooky things like that. Last year, we ended up getting Shipment. It had like 6 different variations that they ended up doing for the multiplayer side of things.
Typically what they do is they give you a night version in Warzone, right? Hey, congratulations, it's Halloween. Here's your night version. Let's throw in a bunch of zombies. We're going to play the game Infected. That's all we got for you. Good luck.
So that's something that we can expect this time around. There are original maps and remakes that...
By the way, here's 1,000 Halloween bundles for you. Enjoy spending your money.
In the files, for example, we had Launch that was supposed to come in sometime during BO6's life cycle. Yemen
I don't think so, Merc.
supposed to come in during the life cycle at some point. And then there may have been a couple of other maps that I'm forgetting about. But Yemen was confirmed to be saved for BO7. Launch, at the moment, I have no idea. Could potentially be saved for BO7 as well. Or it could be one of the maps that we get available on the first day. But there's definitely going to be some new and originals other than the reskins. Now, the next thing is for Warzone. So Warzone did actually get some leaks. The first one is Rebirth Night Resurgence is going to be returning. So this was last available in Cold War.
Shocker.
Every single
What'd
year
I say?
Rebirth Island has been available. It's gotten a
What'd I say?
variation. So last year we didn't get Night, but we ended up getting
In other words, they turn the lights off and make it impossible to see. Giving you virtually no chance at defending yourself against hackers. Because you can't even see where they're shooting you from anymore. That's going to be terrible.
The skybox was different. It had like floating creatures. There was also massive changes
to
the way that the map looked.
They'll do jump scare boxes. They'll do jump scare boxes for sure. You know, big giant flash in the face, loud noise, same loot.
color correction, the grading, all of that was completely updated. They also added things like loot boxes, jump scares, and the different types of things like field upgrades that they added to just match the theme. And then alongside that, there would sometimes spawn in like AI and zombies that you would have to fight and eliminate. So it was like something along those lines. And then they also made it like 1 hour long. So I'm thinking maybe Rebirth Night is going to have some of those variations. I don't think it's going to be as simple as the one with Cold War, but there may be additional other things that are added. I'm hoping maybe there's like a boss fight or something along those lines, but so far nothing like that has leaked. And then the second map update we have is going to be the return of
Can you imagine?
Dance. So once again,
can you imagine in Rebirth Island at night trying to handle a boss fight while you're being shot from 15 different angles by people with aimbot? Like Rebirth Island will virtually become unplayable. Oh, I know, man. I know. Like, if you really look at... Because this is MW3, isn't it, Pukes? Isn't that what they're showing us? Dude, night mode will be a disaster in BO6. It will be a disaster. You can already barely see where you're getting beamed from across the map. Yeah, that makes sense, Pukes. It's going to be a disaster.
Also be night variant. There's probably going to be ghosts and things like that all around. Jump scares available, Halloween decorations. And my favorite thing a lot of times is whenever they do these map updates, each one has its own Easter egg quest. So there's going to be a form of an Easter egg that you're able to complete during these variations of these maps, and they will reward you with either a camo.
The skins are so much better.
Something really nice.
They're so much better.
That's something that I'm looking forward to. It lets you want to grind out these maps and complete these Easter egg quests. And then there's also, speaking of Easter eggs and rewards, there's going to be events that are going to be coming in and popping up alongside that. Now, some of them may be exclusive to, say, these maps that require you to jump into Verdansk or something like a Zombie Royale LTM, because chances are they're probably going to bring back something like that and then complete the challenges and get yourself some rewards. Camos have been available in every single haunting event we've gotten so far, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm thinking there might be an animated camo as a part of these events. Now, other than that, there's also going to be the crossover.
Dude, I'm not going to lie.
So, for example, we may end up...
The orange and blue camo from, I think it was Warzone 2 that you got as a part of the Halloween event was fire. I ran that camo. I think the rest of the year.
I know usually that's saved for the reloaded update, but because Season 6 doesn't have a reloaded update, there is a chance that they may pick one of these crossover operators instead of adding them to the battle pass or to the store. They're going to make a sort of event pass for them. So you'll be able to unlock the operator skin, a bunch of different items.
I think, yeah, the cloud one, Preston. Yep.
Sector, but then in the actual one itself, you're going to have to grind through that out and then unlock and purchase the operator.
Way better, Pukes.
Itself.
Way better.
So that's a potential.
Everything's better in MW3.
Alongside the battle pass coming in, maybe a little too money hungry for them in that case. So I hope that they don't do it.
MW3.
There's a chance that something like that could definitely happen. And then there's going to be other things that are like XP based events and stuff like that. I'm hoping maybe at least 3 events we get within this update, because that's usually what we get.
Hey, there it is.
Events. And then the
yeah, that one was fire.
Expect is going to be the zombies update side of things.
That one was fire.
One thing is we could potentially see the super Easter egg quest. I know a lot of people have been talking about this. They did sort of tease. They didn't give a yes or no answer when devs were asked about it. But last time around, I believe in Cold War, we did end up getting an Easter egg quest, but it was added in the last.
You know, I know it got mixed reviews, but I actually really enjoy, as a guy who doesn't play a lot of zombies anyway, I really enjoyed the open world zombies approach. The what do you call it? The exfil version of zombies that they did in MW3. I thought that was fun as hell, man. I'm not as big on the old school level progression zombies as a lot of guys are.
Update. So I'm thinking they're going to do the same thing here this time around, and that's why they didn't introduce it in Season 5, and they waited until Season 6, and then maybe there's going to be some good rewards and things like that. Some people are hoping for Richtofen operator skin. Others are hoping for a Pack-a-Punch camo. And then alongside all of that, we have the wand. As I talked about earlier, there's a chance that there's going to be a couple of map reskins. For example, we may end up getting like a Liberty Falls makeover.
By
If you guys
Krampus.
remember how it was with like the holiday and the Christmas update, where the map would like freeze over, the zombies were wearing the hats and stuff like that. Maybe this time around, it could be something very similar to that, just Halloween themed. They could be wearing pumpkin heads. There could be like whimsical gobblegums and upgrades like that. It could also be in nighttime. That would be pretty cool. So they're probably going to have some map updates like that, maybe even for Reckoning, and we're going to see
Look at that
happen.
gunplay.
And then there's going to be some new LTMs.
So much better.
That are also going to be coming in as they usually do.
So much
this is
better.
what to expect with this haunting update. It's going to be the last and final update we have for Black Ops 6, and I personally think it's going to be the best update yet, because so far haunting hasn't really disappointed us. But what are your thoughts and opinions? Leave them down below. If you guys found the video informative, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys back on the channel again. Peace.
Cold War, nice. Free beta codes, cool. All right, now let's go check this. Do what I say.
Got more new stuff from the Battlefield 6 build that I played a couple days ago. This thing here is called the X9E Breacher. This is a gadget for the Assault class. This is a handheld launcher that fires breaching rounds which attach and after a short delay penetrate most destructible surfaces, and when they go through the surface they're going to deliver a blinding explosion on the other side. If the breaching round hits an enemy soldier,
YouTube, what's going on today, man? Listen, your boys, because you know, we've been talking about it. Man, cooking, dude.
They put out some details, bro. They
A
put out
little
some details.
battle royale. Okay, chat. Look, I know battle royale taboo. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Not a lot of people in the center, but I love it. I mean, I've loved it for a long time. There's just something about the gas closing in. You gotta shoot.
Being the last one up.
Yeah,
like
it's rewarding.
It's
And
like,
now when I
it's
go
never
play,
like repetitive. Having you know, different modes that people are into, like BR, it's huge, man.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
People
It's gonna be great
will
for their
hop on the
game. It's gonna be great for other games. It's just good for the industry. Look, we don't need to go for the win.
Yeah, I'm getting the vibe that those kinds of things will matter more in this BR than they have in other BR.
See, I want to see some actual. I want to see some actual footage.
Battlefield 6 is almost here, and I wanted to take one final look at the probably final version of the game I got to play last week. You guys really liked my first impressions video where I went into great detail and gave feedback on pretty much every single thing the game had to offer at the time, but now I even got more stuff to talk about, so let's do it. First we're gonna talk about some of the new things I got to experience, and then some of my final pieces of feedback as well. This is, by the way, the exact same feedback I gave directly to EA. Firstly, as you guys know, I got to play on two new maps, the remake of Operation Firestorm and the biggest map in Battlefield 6, Mirage Valley. Both maps were good, but it's not like I was blown away by them or anything. In fact, with Battlefield 6 going back to 64 players, Mirage Valley sometimes felt a little bit empty, as most of the action takes place around the construction site in the middle, but overall the maps seemed decently balanced when it comes to vehicle versus infantry combat. Firestorm felt smaller too than the original, but still very familiar, and we also got to play the new game mode called Escalation, which was pretty interesting and a nice change of pace from the regular Conquest game mode. Now let's take a look at some of the changes that have been made since the open beta. First off, the movement has been toned down. Very hot topic during the open beta.
Come on.
By the way, over on Twitter and stuff.
Sons of bitches.
The momentum you carried from sliding into a jump has been reduced, and accuracy right after doing that is also worse now. I think most people will be happy with this, but to be honest, I didn't really try it out in the play session, so I don't really have an opinion on it yet. Helicopters have also been tweaked and they now feel a lot closer to their Battlefield 4 counterparts.
Nerf the tanks,
That's
bro.
something fans of the older games will appreciate because the helicopter was kinda ass in the beta. Most land vehicles now come with a boost mode, giving you that extra speed when you need it. Especially for transport vehicles, this is greatly appreciated because let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, you just want to get from point A to point B, and now you can
Hey, you
do that
too,
much
Frag.
faster. Revives
We'll be back at it in the morning.
well, there is now better feedback during the animation with added sparks and stuff, which makes it feel more clear when you actually do a successful revive. Sniper glint has also been toned down. It's still there, but it's less aggressive than it was before. In the open beta, it was like a 10,000 lumen flashlight shining straight into your eye. So this is much better.
It should
I do
be.
wonder what the glint will look like now with the scope attachment that reduces the glint. I'll be testing that out and much more when the game launches, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And while you're down there, drop a like for the algorithm. Now, next nerf is regarding the auto spotting that the recon class had. I thought it was kind of
What
ridiculous.
fucking bots is this guy playing
You just
against?
had to look in the general direction of any enemy and you'd see a giant red icon. That is now also
Oh, that
heavily
sniping was
reduced,
so much
I'm
fun
really happy with that. Health
on the
regeneration
beta.
has also been slowed down a little bit, which is a step in the right direction. The actual regen speed feels much better, but the delay before it starts still feels a little bit too short in my opinion. I'd like to see that gap extended so you can't instantly, fall back, instantly heal and re-engage without any real consequences. Let's say if you shoot someone from a little distance and they manage to take cover and survive, you should be able to chase them or rush them and finish them off, but it looks like in Battlefield 6, with how fast you regenerate health, it's gonna be a lot harder. Now those are the general big changes since the open beta. Now let's get into my final thoughts and feedback after playing more of the game. Again, this is given directly to EA, so we'll see how much of this will actually transform the game at launch. Now this is obviously focusing mostly on the negatives, and this is in no particular order, though I do want to start with my
Good
biggest
shot.
complaint after participating in the latest playtest.
Good
which
shot.
I've already heard in my previous video. They changed the aim assist yet again. They changed it yet again. I'm not
Change the aim assist.
The aim assist. It's freaking messed up yet again. What the? I'm so They messed up the aim assist. Like honestly.
And by messed up the aim assist, he means they toned it down. Fantastic news.
The aim assist. They messed it up. I'm telling you.
Fantastic news.
They messed it up. I'm telling you, they messed it up. Yeah, they messed up the aim assist. I'm telling you, they messed it up. The aim assist issue. Now, a lot of people in the comments of my previous video thought I was crying because I thought the aim assist had been reduced.
That's what I think.
It's actually the opposite.
No!
I noticed the aim assist way more. It
He
was
baited
actually
me.
Too sticky, and more
He
often
baited
than
me.
not, I felt like it was fighting against me, similar to how Battlefield 2042 felt.
What do you mean fighting against you? It all depends on BO7. You know? I think it's going to get an initial massive wave of gamers. And then guys like us, pukes that are Call of Duty diehards, we're ultimately going to trickle back over to Warzone because that's what we do. But hopefully we've held out long enough to ensure that whatever changes we're demanding be made to Warzone. Like I'm telling you right now, if Warzone does not address the cheating problem in this next game, I won't play it. I just won't. We're already so far down the line in BO6, you almost have to keep going. But in BO7, if the cheating thing hasn't been addressed, I'll just stick with Battlefield. Whether it's as good of a game or not, honestly.
So I hope they somehow bring back the aim assist feeling we had during the open beta. That was pretty much perfect.
That's interesting,
in my opinion,
Preston.
and I
That's
also
interesting.
didn't see anybody complain about that. So I don't understand.
That's what he
why
meant
they
by was fighting against him.
place. Anyway, I just wanted to start off with that. Now let's look at some less noticeable things. The fighter jets anti-air missiles need balancing. The lock-on time is way too fast and it
Yes.
gives pilots very
Agreed,
little time
pukes.
to react. And the thing, like, each missile did like 50 damage each. So if you manage to get a lock-on with the AA missiles, which as you can see is very fast, the enemy is pretty much dead instantly. On top of that, flares don't consistently counter AA missiles. I believe this might have been a bug during this playtest, but it's a big issue if it carries into launch. The jets themselves though are pretty cool. We finally got to play with the F-22 Raptor, one of my
That does
favorite
look like
jets
fun.
in real life, or should I say the F-97 Kestrel. I mean, seriously, what the hell are those names? I understand trademarks and stuff like that, but this is just ridiculous. Other games can have the real names in their games, so why can't a multi-billion-dollar company like EA manage to do that? Same goes for the gun.
Because it's EA, they didn't want to pay for the shit.
Is now called the AK-4D. I mean, come on. Anyway, I might be in the minority here, but I think it's just lame. After so many years playing with these guns in different video games,
they're changing the names.
Potentially say, yo, dude, you gotta unlock the AK-4D. It's so
They
powerful.
ran out of money.
I don't know, it's kind of cringe to me, but again, I might just be slowly turning into a boomer. Anyway, we were talking about the jets. In the playtest, I noticed that the free look camera doesn't move logically with the X.
This guy's got pretty good videos. I mean, he's got almost 1 million subscribers. I can see why. I don't think it's too much to ask. What up, Tinker?
So looking around doesn't respond the way you'd expect. In Battlefield Labs it works correctly, so I hope they can fix it here. The infamous pump action shotgun, which was extremely overpowered during the open beta, has also been nerfed. But unfortunately I didn't get the chance to test it out, so I just don't know how effective that nerf is. Either way, despite the potential damage nerf, the rate of fire is still high enough that missing a shot doesn't actually feel like a drawback. One of the core weaknesses of a pump action shotgun should be their slower follow-up shots, and right now that weakness isn't really a weakness because you do the pump action animation really quickly. So one thing they can do is to increase the animation time and make the rate of fire a bit lower. I can talk about the other shotguns though. They seem pretty weak to be honest, so at least we won't be complaining about overpowered semi-auto shotguns. But maybe that's not gonna be the case with the right attachments. And speaking of which, for weapon attachments, I'd like to see more incentive for not spending all your points. Currently there is no reason to hold back. If you got the points, you can always spend some of them on attachments that have no drawbacks. But if unused points
why wouldn't you?
Elsewhere, like extra ammo, gadgets, extra movement speed, it would create more meaningful decisions. For example, what if you are an engineer and you could bring an extra rocket for your RPG for like, I don't know, 40 points? That's a lot of points that won't be going towards your gun attachments. Now all of a sudden you only have 60 points to work with for your gun, which makes you think more carefully on how you spend those points on attachments. I honestly believe this is a great idea, but let me know down below what you think. When it comes to gun balance, I've noticed there is more spread dependency than recoil dependency now. So spread-based gunplay is back. Kinda, a little bit. Personally, I don't think that's the right choice for this game. Managing recoil feels more skill-based, whereas spread introduces a lot more randomness. And I know people are gonna say, well, just tap fire, but I don't think that's skillful at all. Tap firing isn't mechanically hard to do, it only requires a little bit of restraint. But regardless, I'm sure people who love Battlefield 4's gunplay will really like it.
This guy's a
For
fucking
me,
beam.
It's kinda lame when I manage to keep my sights perfectly on target and then see my bullets flying diagonally out of my barrel in all different directions. But that's just me. Also interesting to note, sniper scopes are capped at 10 times magnification. So unfortunately, we won't have a 40 times scope like we had in Battlefield 4. Which I understand is meant to discourage extreme long-range sniping, but part of Battlefield's identity has
40x is crazy.
weaknesses, at least in Battlefield 4. It would be nice to at least have the option. Yes, it doesn't help the team and stuff like that, blah blah blah, I understand. But I still think the option is just cool to have. By the way, a 10 times scope is not that much, you will see. The new weapon inspect is a cool addition, being able to freely look at your gun, which is kind of unique
That's
to
nice.
other games. But I'd love
Call of
to
Duty
see
knockoff.
proper inspect animation as well. It already exists actually in a certain game mode I played in Battlefield Labs, and it would be great if players could trigger that manually. On top of that, the inspect on controller feels clunky compared to mouse and keyboard. It's much faster and less smooth. Probably because the animation detects an all or nothing input with the analog sticks on controller, whereas with the mouse you can determine the speed yourself. Now about the vehicles, they have some quality of life issues that I would like to see fixed. For example, there are two separate buttons for switching the camera view and zooming in. So you can go from third person view to first person view with one button, and you can also zoom in with another button. But if you're zoomed in first person, the camera switch button doesn't take you back out to third person. It only works if you press the zoom button again. That should be streamlined.
Yeah, that needs to be. That needs to be combined.
I'm pretty sure nobody would ever talk
Hey,
about
good morning,
it, so I
Nate. How
feel
are
like
you?
I need to put out these small things like this out there. The vehicle damage feedback
Good,
also
Merc.
still needs improvement. Just like
Yeah,
I
we
said
got a couple
with the open
cables
beta.
for those of you guys that are just joining us.
Realize how much damage
For those of you guys that are just joining us, we are having a oh god, not a graphics card. Why am I blanking on it? A game capture card issue this morning. So I've got I think I've got a faulty cable. We have a massive delay in our audio. So I've got that on an order. That'll be here today at 5 o'clock. So we should be back in order for tomorrow at 2:30 a.m. So we're just taking a look at Battlefield BR, and we reviewed BO7. We're just kind of kicking it before we shut it down here shortly.
Similar to the oily screen overlay in Battlefield 2042 would help. Kind of like a bloody screen effect like we have if you take damage as an infantry, but for vehicles. The vehicle proximity mine gadget also seems very overpowered, especially against light armored vehicles. A Jeep is a one-hit kill. Previously, you had to physically drive over an anti-tank mine.
Man, I was up late last night, boys.
But now you just have to be somewhat in close proximity of this gadget and you die instantly without any time to react. I think damage output is something that needs to be looked at, but at least increase the time between the gadgets and the impact.
I was up late last night working on business plan, so
you don't get any warnings.
I wasn't sure I was going to make it this morning.
If you're in a Jeep or a quad bike, you'd get a lock-on warning if, like, let's say a javelin was locking onto you. In Battlefield 6, there is no clear warning and no time to react, so there is no counter.
Yeah, a lot of people sick right now, Nate. My wife just got over it.
Seems pretty low, which makes it less effective than it should be. There is an upgrade option though that increases the muzzle velocity, but I feel like the default velocity is still on the low side.
I'm the worst.
But against jets, it's very.
I think a lot of you guys already know this, but I am the worst person. Absolute worst person when it comes to getting sick. Like if you have a cold or COVID or whatever, steer clear of me. Like I tell my wife all the time, like I won't even go in the same room with my wife when she's sick. I have no time for being sick. None.
But hey, maybe that's by design. Another small detail, during this playtest we got to play with most, if not all, gadgets that will be available at launch, including the deployable ladder for the assault class. I think this gadget is pretty cool, but on Operation Firestorm, there is a blocked terrain message when trying to use the ladder.
Boom! Nice. That was a good play.
Bug, or if it means that
You get a ladder?
If it's the ladder, get it? Ladder. Anyway, if it's too high, it should display a message saying too high or something like that, so it's clear for the user. Grenade throwing still needs more weight. I don't think they touched that since the beta. The animation is way too quick and it still feels more like a panic button as I see.
Yes, it does.
Impressions video.
I hate grenades and throwables in this game.
More deliberate throw like in all the Battlefield
Hate it.
games. And same goes for the anti-tank grenade, which is some sort of stick grenade. Right now, it looks too static when flying through the air.
Yo, happy birthday, Mark.
The stick grenades spun as they traveled.
Congrats, buddy.
Matching sound effect, which looked and felt much better. That's missing.
Another year, my man.
I also played with the mortars a little bit.
Live well and still vertical, baby.
Notice that the sensitivity is an issue. On controller, looking around or aiming feels extremely slow no matter your settings, while on PC you can simply flick the camera much faster. On top of that, the smoke shells don't really create Happy birthday! The purpose. Now, the sledgehammer is another extremely cool piece of equipment, especially combined with the insane destruction in Battlefield 6, but it does far too much damage to structures. Right now, you can bring down entire buildings with like 1 or 2 swings. When
Wow.
really just create
One hit with a sledgehammer took that whole roof in. I'm going to go ahead and say that roof wasn't safe to walk on.
Because the destruction itself
Elvert, have a great day.
have certain hole sizes, and I don't think they have micro destruction on buildings, and it's not like they can quickly implement that, so don't expect this to change at launch. On the infantry side, I had issues with the sniper hold.
Okay, so we get it.
Always working.
We get it.
Bug, but it happened often.
We get it. You know, we get it. Battlefield's always been a little more bland, a little more boring than Call of Duty, for sure. We all know that. We all know that for sure. Dude, how great would it be if they came back out with NFL Blitz? That game was so fun, man.
When did sports games stop being fun? For a lot of us, the answer actually lies in another question. When did the gaming industry decide that cartoon chaos was out and monotonous realism was in? That's actually a pretty complicated thing to ask, and as is often the case on this channel, the answer involves industry politics, violence in games, and a whole lot of money. So let's break down the sad state of sports games today.
I need to make
by looking
a
at
video
the
like
game
this.
that changed the genre forever. NFL Blitz.
I lived on sports
1997's
games
NFL
growing up.
Blitz started its life as an arcade made sports
absolutely
games,
lived on
legendary
sports games. That's all I
developer Midway
played.
Games, who you might know as the creators of Mortal Kombat, Tron, and a whole host of other titles we still know and love today. In fact, NFL Blitz was created as a direct response to Midway's billion-dollar hit, NBA Jam. NBA Jam, for those who may not have played the iconic 1993 release, was
Fantastic.
essentially a Looney Tunes version of basketball that came out 3 years before Space Jam would grace movie theaters. But instead of Warner Brothers characters in the roster, it was licensed NBA teams and players. Like Space Jam, NBA Jam was heavily cartoonified. Watching a few seconds of gameplay is enough to understand that it wasn't a faithful recreation of the real-life sport, and it was never meant to be. Programmer Mark Turmel and the rest of the Jam developers wanted their arcade game to be over the top and, well, arcadey, which is why players got to jump to outrageous heights, make physically impossible shots, and knock people to the ground like they're playing TMNT Turtles in Time.
Pizza time!
There were no fouls, no free throws, and essentially no rules. It was pure fun, and it obviously struck a chord with the gaming public. So when it came time to replicate NBA Jam's success with a new sport, the team set their sights on football.
Blitz was fun as hell, man.
Then because Mark Turmel was a lifelong Detroit Lions fan, and Mark Turmel would go on to make a lot of the decisions that led to Midway's massive success. But football's unique level of physical play probably didn't hurt their decision either. With Midway moving into the mid-90s, it was suddenly possible to render games in a 3D space. The developers took full advantage of this new tech by ramping up the cartoonish violence in the most hilarious of ways. Regular football tackles and interceptions were mostly replaced by WWE-style moves that were definitely more at home in a fighting game. Once again, rules were loose or at times totally non-existent, and the player positions were more suggestions than an actual rigid team makeup. Even though Blitz held onto the NFL license, everything from the fast-paced animations to the bowling pin-like sound effects told players that this game wasn't meant to be taken seriously.
Did you guys ever play Tecmo Bowl or Super Tecmo Bowl on regular NES? I played this shit out of Super Tecmo Bowl. Me and my brothers and cousins. I mean, we would literally play it all night long. One of the greatest sports games ever, in my opinion. Exactly. Exactly.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the words Tecmo Super?
Bo Jackson was untackleable in that game. It was considered cheating in my family to play with the Raiders. Or Christian Okoye for the Chiefs. He was also untackleable.
Let's get started. Much action and unique gameplay is possible when we created Tecmo Super Bowl. He wanted a game that presented the players in a cinematic superhero style manner. So Yamaguchi played.
You guys remember this game or no?
Director Shinichiro Tomi and programmer Akihiko Shimoji to bring this game to life. Tomi was an athlete himself and was fascinated with American football. He and Shimoji will admit they didn't know anything about the strategy to football when they started developing the game. Tomi said, "I didn't care too much about positions. I just liked the charismatic players." He made it pretty clear in an interview in 2006.
Yeah, Buccaneers were good. Who was their quarterback at the time? I know the 49ers had Joe Montana still. Dude, this was made in like the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe early 90s. There's one other game that I played the hell out of. Ken Griffey Jr. baseball, boys. Me and my brothers and my dad would spend weekends grinding on this game. It was so good. You guys remember this one? Man, it was fun, dude. That game was so fucking fun. It's funny because I'll go look at something my son's playing, right? I'll go watch something over my son's shoulder. Oh man, this is a great one, Preston. I'll go watch something my son's playing over my shoulder, and it'll be like the highest graphics, or it'll be completely online, and he'll be playing with 20 of his friends, and it's like, dude, we came up in such a more simplistic world. And when you really think about it, I'm 40, okay? I was, I don't know, probably 10, somewhere between 8 to 10 when all this stuff really started popping off. So it was late 80s, early 90s. Think about how far we've come in a very short period of time. I always think of it like this. I'll look this up so I get the year right. The first commercial automobile, 1885. And that's not even real. What year did cars hit the road? Widespread adoption, early 1900s. If I remember right, it's like 1908, you started seeing this style of car on the road, right? All throughout the 1800s, they used horse and buggy. Early 1900s, they were still using horse and buggy. Inside of almost, call it 110 years, which, keep in mind, there are people alive that are 110 years old. So in one person's lifetime, we've gone from horse and buggy to fully autonomous vehicles using artificial intelligence that drive themselves on the roads. We've gone from horse and buggy to creating a space program and rockets that land themselves inside of 100 years. Before that, we supposedly went through millions and billions of years without any transportation other than horse throughout all of history. Just think about that. Think about the odds of that. Some don't add up. I personally am a proponent of we're not discovering technology, we're rediscovering technology that was lost. That's my personal opinion. I'll let you marinate that on that for the day. That's my personal thought on the matter. Guys, I'm going to kill it here. I got a long day. It's a hectic week, business plan and whatnot. I appreciate y'all kicking with me. I apologize for the technology failure today. I'll get it up and running tonight. We'll be back on Warzone in the morning. Think about that. We'll talk about it in the morning. 100 years compared to all of human history. For 100 years, we've had all this automation in one of the fastest ramp ups you could ever imagine. Something don't make sense. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning, 2:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, y'all be good. Peace.